Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. Daily edition of New Hope Radio. We are here live with you and glad to be with you today on this kind of a nice day as we head into the Christmas season. And I kind of like the topic. Today we're going to begin a brand new series. And I like this series because it has to do with life change. And, you might not want to change maybe a lot about your life, but I wonder if we all have something that we'd like to change, something small. Well, whether it's something small that you want to change about your life, or maybe something huge, it can be done. We want you to know that today, that your life can change. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a trip to the farm. And the farm is going to teach us some lessons about life. It really does. That lesson, I call this Lessons from the Farm, and it teaches us how we can have life change. And a big part of life change is growth. When you think about change, I want you to think about growth. Because as we grow, we change. And maybe there are aspects of our lives, it's not that we need to grow, but we need to change. It's not that we need to change, but we need to grow. We need to grow up in those particular aspects. So that's why today we're going to look at some lessons from the farm. And it's going to be a good series because the farm can teach us so much about life. Like I said, especially the growing part of life. Because if there's one thing the farm is known for, it's growth, right? Every farmer has a high expectation from his farm that things will grow. That's why he has a farm. That's why he plants crops. He plants crops with the expectation of having an abundant harvest. So the farm is a beautiful example, a beautiful picture of how it is that we can grow in our own lives. Okay? So again, thank you for joining us. 1590 on the AM dial. 92.7 on the FM dial. I'm not sure if Facebook is working. Maybe somebody can send me a message. Not sure if it's working because I'm not seeing any action there. But anyway, we'll see what happens, okay? All right, so let's take a walk to the farm. Now, today we're going to see that in order for the crop to grow abundantly, the seed must be sown properly. Now, when we talk about sowing seed, we're talking about planting the seed, spreading the seed, right? We're going to see some wrong ways, and we're going to see a right way to sow the seed. And by the way, this is not original with me. Jesus actually taught these principles a couple of thousand years ago, okay? And here's what he said. A large crowd was coming together, and those from the various cities were journeying to him, and he spoke by way of a parable. Now, what's a parable? A parable is a compound word, para, which means alongside, bole, which means to throw. It's where we get the word ball. So it's a story with another meaning thrown in alongside. Okay? So we're going to have a story today, but it's going to have a double meaning. It's going to have a natural meaning as we talk about sowing seed, and then it's going to have a spiritual meaning as well, a meaning that will help us to grow personally. Now, that's why we go to the farm. The farm is a great teacher on growth. So here's the parable. The sower went out to sow his seed. And as he sowed his seed, some fell beside the road, and it was trampled underfoot, and the birds of the air ate it up. Now, this road, it's not like a highway. This road is the path between the rows. When a farmer plants, right? He sows his seed in rows, and then there's a path that you walk on, and you walk on that in between the rows, and it gets really, really hard. And he's sowing his seed. See, in those days, they had seed in a bucket, and they threw it, and they dispersed it. So some of it fell on the path. And what happened? Well, the birds came, and they ate the seed. Lesson number 1. Don't sow your seed on a hard path. We're going to see today that these areas that the seed is falling on, it has to do with the different conditions of our soul. That our soul can be in one of 4 different conditions. And that will determine if we're receiving the truth that we need so we can grow. Okay? Now we're going to get into that a little bit later. Other seed fell on rocky soil. And as soon as it grew up, it withered away because it had no moisture. Lesson number 2. Don't sow your seed on shallow soil. Rocky soil, it doesn't mean there was rocks in the soil. It means that there was bedrock under the soil. Now the soil was maybe an inch deep. So when the seed did grow, it hit the bedrock and it couldn't sprout roots and it just kind of withered and died. Other seed fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up with it. Choked it out. Don't sow your seed in the thorn bushes. It'll get choked out when it grows there. Other seed fell into the good soil and grew up and produced a crop 100 times as great. Think of it, 100 times as great. Why? Because it was good soil. Lesson number 4. Do sow your seed where the soil will receive it. Why? Because it's prepared. It's good soil. Think about it. I want you to think about if these lessons that we're going to be talking about today from the farm can really change your life. Think about areas where you'd like to see your life changed. And what have you done to try to bring those changes? And has it worked? And I wonder if some people, they get so discouraged that they don't even bother anymore. They don't try anymore. They give up. Like I know people that put forth no effort at all to better their lives. No effort at all. None. They just, float through life. And things never get better. They never improve. That's a sad commentary. Why? Because I would say truth is falling on an unprepared soul. Oh man, it's all about the soul. That's what it's all about. So Jesus explains, he tells that parable, then he explains the meaning. He said the parable is this. The seed is God's word. It's truth. You know the thing about truth? Truth sets you straight. Truth makes you right. Truth allows you to look at life the way it really, really is. I was looking at this video clip online, and it showed people that they put these glasses on, and they were able to see in color for the very first time. It's very emotional when you saw their responses. And one little boy said, "Is this what life really looks like?" Man, you cry. When he put those glasses on and he saw color, he said, "Is this what life really looks like?" And you know, when you look at life through truth, you can say the same thing. Is this what life really looks like? Wow, it's amazing. So if you don't look at life through truth, you're not going to see life for what it really is. So that's the seed. The seed is truth. He said, those beside the road are those who have heard, but you know what happens? It's snatched away. The birds of the air come and they eat the seed. And because they eat the seed, they don't think about the truth. They don't believe the truth. They don't apply the truth. And therefore, there's no growth. And now, so this is the seed that fell on the path, right? the hard heart, the soul that's become hardened. How does a soul become hardened? You know how? Well, what makes a hard path in the garden? Routine. You walk that same line day after day after day, and the ground gets really, really hard. You know something else that makes the heart hard? Religion. Because religion is just a bunch of observations. That's all it is. It doesn't change the life. It doesn't change the heart. It's just a bunch of hoops you jump through. And you know what else makes the road, the hard, hard? The heart hard? Pride. Pride will make a hard heart. Pride says, man, you don't have to tell me anything. I got it all down pat. I get it all figured out. Don't you worry about me. That's pride. So when truth comes, the truth is not received. Seed fell on the rocky soil. What's the rocky soil? Well, like Jesus said, they receive the word with joy, but they have no firm root. And they believe for a little while, but then in the hour of trial, they fall away. These are people with a superficial response to truth. They're shallow thinking people. It's like the bedrock is 1 inch under the soil, right? We would call that shallow soil. So we have the shallow thinking person. Oh, they love truth because it tickles their ears, but you know what? When the rubber hits the road, they discard it or they forget about it, or it was just an emotional response, and they don't abide in it. They don't apply it. And they wither and dry up, and they fall away. Man, that's a bad place to be. Don't forget, truth is always good. It's never bad truth. It's good truth. Then you get some seed, fell among the thorns. And what happened? The thorns came, choked it all up. What causes the choking in the heart? Worries, the pursuit of riches, the pleasures of this life. In other words, there are people that their lives are geared toward just doing everything they can to make themselves happy. That life is all about them. Or on the other end of the spectrum, all they do is worry about life. They're just worried and overly concerned about everything. They have no faith. And they worry about everything. And then there are those that are just vain. And they pursue everything materialistically. And it's not about other people. You know, here we are embarking on the Christmas season. What a wonderful time to lay ourselves aside and to put other people first. The stranger, the elderly, the needy, those that don't have what you have. What a beautiful time. You know, this is the good time to develop some good practices. I know, you go, every store I went in the other day, they asked me for money. Every one. And you know what I did? I gave it. Not because I'm something special, but I know it's going to happen, so I prepare myself. And I'm saying this is the Christmas season. I'm ready. I'm ready. So I'm going to bring a little pocket full of cash. And when I go to these stores, and every store I go to, you want to give to the food thing? You want to give to the toy thing? You want to give to the veterans? You want to give to this over here? Okay. It's not much, but you know what? It does a lot. It's good for the soul. And maybe it'll spur the person in back of you to do the same thing. So this is a wonderful season to come out of ourselves and stop living for ourselves and start living for others. Okay? So when you sow the good seed, good truth on people with hard hearts, on people with shallow thinking, or on people with worldly thinking, you never get growth. They never grow. They're like the same year after year after year after year. Problems never change. Responses to life never change. Nothing changes. Nothing. Oh, but there's hope. See, you can change your life. You can change your life. There can be growth in your life. The seed, the truth, fell on the good soil. These are the ones that hear the truth and in an honest and good heart, they hold it fast and they bear fruit with perseverance. Good soil. You know what's good soil? Prepared soil, right? When the farmer, before he plants the seed, he prepares the soil. He breaks it up. He softens it, gets it ready for the seed. We have to prepare our hearts. You look at your heart and you take like an inventory of yourself. Do you really want to grow? Do you really want to change? Are you willing to do what's required? Are you being honest about yourself? Do you really want good to come into your life? And what is it that made this seed grow? They held it fast, it persevered, and became fruitful. It'll grow. See, seed grows. It's in the nature of seed to grow. And if truth is like this seed, it's in the nature of truth to bring growth into your life. And growth means change. But you can't be superficial. You can't be filled with the worries of life. You can't be hard-hearted. You can't be just an emotional person. You've got to be someone that's honest about yourself, honest about life, honest about the changes that you would like to see in your life, honest about those changes, and honest that truth can do the job. It can. It can do the work. So that's what we have to ask ourselves. Do I want to grow? Do I want an abundant harvest in my life? An abundant harvest, of joy. Do I want that? I think some people can be so content not being happy. They get used to it. Or they think that happiness is so far-fetched, it'll never happen to them. It can happen. You've got to embrace the good seed of truth. You got to have a prepared heart, the right soil in your heart. See, that makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. It's not the seed, it's the person that I am. So we got 4 kinds of people here, and they all receive the same truth, but only one of them benefits because they're honest about themselves. They prepare their heart. They're saying, I need to change. I need some areas of my life, man. I gotta fix them. Maybe you just need to be tweaked. That's okay. Or maybe you need a major overhaul. That's okay too. Truth is strong. Truth is powerful. It really is. So that's the prepared heart. But the one with the hard heart, you hear truth and it's like, okay, and you walk away. I know people in every one of these categories. Everyone. They hear truth, okay. It has no impact at all. None. It's like water off a duck's back, right? I've never seen water go down a duck's back. But people use that example. Water rolls off a duck's back. I've never seen it, but I guess it works. And they're like, oh, that's truth, huh? Okay. See you later. But then you look at their life and it's like, dead man's land. There's nothing happening. There's nothing going on. It's like, it's like a flat line socially. It's like a flat line spiritually. There's no life. There's no life there at all. And truth is just another TV show. And then the one with the worries, that's, truth doesn't have a chance with those that worry all the time. That's all they do is worry. They worry about every little thing. Oh, it's going to rain. Oh, it's not going to rain. Oh, it's going to be too hot. Oh, it's going to be too cold. Oh, this. Oh, that. And just worry. And truth tries to come in. Oh, that sounded good. Right back to worrying again. Right back. Nothing changes. Tough way to go through life. Tough way. Don't like that way at all. Get the hot. Get the warrior. Superficial. Just emotional. People that are just emotional all the time, it's like they force themselves to be happy all the time. If they're not happy, they think something's wrong. I'm not happy all the time. I'm happy sometime. Thankfully. All the time? No. That's not a gauge. Happiness is not a gauge. Happiness is a fruit. There's a difference. It's a fruit. It's a result. Happiness is not even a goal. Happiness is not a noble goal. It's not a noble pursuit. It's not. It's a result of a noble pursuit. If you pursue the right things in life, happiness will find you. But if you're searching for happiness, you'll never find it. And it'll never find you. Because it's not a goal. It's a result. It's what you harvest from doing the right thing. But you've got to plant and you reap. You plant the right things in life and you will reap happiness. This is how we need to see. People say, I'm not happy. Well, don't go try to make yourself happy. Go do the things that foster happiness. Go do those things. Get your mind off being happy and go and do the things that cause happiness to find you. Be kind. Be helpful. Be a servant. Be generous. Get into the lives of other people. Use your talents and your gifts to be a blessing to somebody else. And you wake up and it's like, wow, I'm happy. And you didn't even pursue it. Happiness is not a noble pursuit. It's not. It's a byproduct. It's a result. And I think if more people just understood that simple truth, oh man, that could surely bring some changes into their own lives, don't you think? I think it could. I think it could really bring some changes. We're going to come back tomorrow, and unfortunately, I think Facebook was a dud. Didn't work today. Don't know what happened. Not much is working here today. Everything's shutting down on me, but I'm happy. What are you going to do? Everything just shut down on me. It's like, okay, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you get so excited about doing something that then everything falls apart. Like, especially on Tuesday. I love coming back to the radio studio here at New Hope and yeah, man, we're going to start another week. This is great. And then nothing works. Computer freezes. Facebook doesn't work. Sometimes the radio doesn't work. It's like, okay. But you know what? That's not the basis of happiness. Doing the things that foster happiness. So with this Christmas season, let's think about that. Let's have a new approach to Christmas this year. Maybe it's a new approach for some. Another thing. Now the sun's moving, right? I got the sun blasting me. I got to do something. It's like I can't even see. Can't see. Sun is like looking in my face. I'm all lit up like a firecracker. I can't take it. But it's okay. I'm still happy. Let's have a new approach to Christmas this year. Let's be different. I mean, maybe you have this every year. That's beautiful. Let's practice being a blessing. Be a blessing. Be a blessing to people you know. How about this? Even be a blessing to people you don't know. That could make their day. You never know the story that people are living when you cross their path. You never know what's going on in the background of their lives. Did they just get out of the hospital? Did they just get out of divorce court? Did they just get out of Social Security? Did they just get out of the unemployment line? We have no idea. We have no idea the struggles that many people have, and you don't know until you get to know the people. So there are strangers that are going to cross your path, and they could be hurting big time. I would say this Christmas season, don't add to the hurt. Be sensitive. Be sensitive to their needs. Realize that one little thing that you say, or one little thing that you do, could really make their day. It really could. It could make their day. It could change everything. You know, there's a lot of people in the world that think nobody cares about them. And sometimes just being kind and nice, it sends a message. You know what the message is? I care. You are valuable. You are important. And don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not. See, we're created in God's image. Like, are you kidding me? We're the crown of His creation. Every human being. It's the crown of God's creation. So everyone has value. Every single one. So when you cross the paths of people, you look at them and you say, God's image. God's image. How can I be helpful? How can I be sensitive? How can I be aware? Take a few extra bucks in your pocket. Give when they ask. Someone's in line in front of you, don't make them put the milk back. Don't make them put the cereal back. Say, I get that for you. No one should ever go hungry that stands in front of you in line. See, that's what brings happiness. That will bring you the happiness that you're looking for. Hey, tomorrow we're going to talk about the plow. How important is the plow? We'll see that tomorrow right here on New Hope Radio.